back to Carrow Road this weekend and a Friday night game under the floodlights in front of the Sky Sports cameras for Norwich City, and it's Swansea coming to town. Norwich looking for a fourth successive win to remain on top of the Championship ahead of the weekend's fixtures. Here's the team that I'm expecting Daniel Farke to go with for the game. The one point of contention is whether Kenny McLean keeps that place in central midfield, or whether it's time for Maurice Leitner to return fit again, come off the bench a few times in recent weeks. We all saw how good he could be earlier in the season. Has McLean played well enough in general play to retain that place? For me, I think it is probably time to get Leitner back in, but we'll see. Swansea, a similar team to Norwich, as we'll come on to in just a minute, in terms of possession, the way they pass the ball, not particularly direct side. So that's the only real point of contention. You could possibly discuss whether Tim Closer comes in for Ben Godfrey, but I think that's the only one I can see Daniel Farke making a change for. Looking at Swansea, they won 2-0 at home against Bolton on Saturday. That was a great performance from Bolton keeper Remy Matthews, former Norwich of course. Bolton had 2 players sent off in that game. Matthews saved a penalty, but they still won thanks to goals from Bursant Salina and top scorer Ollie McBurney. We'll come on to him in just a minute. They're 14th at the moment, 7 points adrift of the playoffs. They brought in Graham Potter last summer. He had great success with Östersunds in Sweden, and seems to be getting Swansea going along fairly nicely. They've shaken off that Premier League hangover to an extent. Okay, let's go on to Swansea's strengths and weaknesses then. In terms of strengths, only 5 teams have conceded fewer than the 42 that Swansea have managed so far this season. Norwich have conceded 45, so they've actually conceded more. No surprise with Swansea, they've got among the best passing statistics in the division. One of the few teams who can match Norwich in that respect. They average possession around 55%, and they also average the best pass accuracy in the division of 82.8%. So they know how to keep the ball, but so do Norwich. In terms of weaknesses, in front of goal, they rank about average in the division. They scored 45 from 34 games, which is 26 fewer than Norwich, who are of course the division's top scorers with 71 so far. Aerially, again, similar to Norwich. We can see the way this game is shaping up. They're pretty similar in terms of the stats. They average 19.3 successful duels. Norwich average 18.2, so they're both down the lower end of the division for aerial ability. And here's a weird quirk in terms of weaknesses. Own goals. They've scored a division high 5 own goals so far this season. So perhaps it's best to let their defenders have the ball for a bit. And in terms of key man, Ollie McBurney, he has scored 8 goals in the last 8 league games. He's a Scotland international. In total, he's got 16 goals and 4 assists from 33 Championship games overall. You may remember he was on loan at Barnsley last year, and despite only being there for the second half of the season, he won their Player of the Season. But he's got great pace, great work rate, clearly in good form. So he is a man to watch in what is sure to be a difficult game against a team who are very different to the Millwall or Bolton that we've seen in recent weeks who have tried to thwart Norwich. Swansea are a team who are going to play Norwich at their own game.